Netflix is about to drop its latest thriller this Friday, September the 30th, after its premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival, where Jake Gyllenhaal faces my biggest nightmare, taking phone calls all day long. This is my review of The Guilty. Taking place over the course of a single morning in a 911 dispatch call center, a demoted police officer, now call operator Joe Baylor, tries to save a caller in grave danger as she calls for rescue, and through their conversations, Joe's inner demons are brought out. Now, before I properly start with my review, I want you to start the conversation down there in the comments below, whether you're excited for this film, if you've already seen it, if you've seen the Danish original, anything and everything down there in the comments. And if you like what you see here, consider clicking that subscribe button and you will join every conversation about your favorite movies and TV. Going into this film, I watched the original Danish film in preparation, a film that is really fantastic, and I was excited for this as I'm a fan of Jake Gyllenhaal and Antoine Fuqua, and Gyllenhaal plays this role tremendously well. There's a lot of rawness and viscerality in this character, and Gyllenhaal, as per usual, delivers himself fully to this role. Throughout the film, there's a bit of a mystery going on about what happened to him, why he's in this position, but he's holding a lot back, and you can tell that just through the performance. And as you find out things about this character, it's very easy to start rooting for him bit by bit, because the film does a great job at making him seem unlikable at first, but then you gain something to justify certain attitudes and certain things this character says and how he acts throughout the film. There's also a lot of inherent tension as you just focus on this one guy, and all the phone calls are just voices. Voices that you might recognize from certain actors, but everything is focused on him. Everything we see is him, and so our imagination naturally runs wild, and the things that we imagine from what we hear about the people on the phone lends itself to some really nice, thrilling sequences. But as much as the film gains in these elements, it loses a lot in others. There's a lot of fluff going on in this film. The film starts by setting up that there are these fires in LA and everything is chaos. And so everything is on a high level of tension already. This should be just a man's day going very wrong just on the eve of a very important thing that he's got to do that I'm not going to divulge here because these are spoilers. I also had a lot of problems with how this character was written. He has a lot of outbursts throughout this film. He explodes at people a lot. He has a lot of emotional outbursts where he just yells or throws things around. And that happens in key moments of the film and less key moments of the film. So in the key moments where it's important for the narrative, where there's a big reveal or something, and there's the midway point, and then there's the third act, and you want to raise the stakes, that's when you should do it exclusively. Apart from that, because it happens so often, those moments don't have that much of a punch. They don't have that much of an impact. The film also lacks nuance. From beginning to end, there's just so much information that is spoon-fed to the audience that we don't need the film to do, because this film is taking a lot of chances inherently with its visual storytelling just by letting us hear the other end of the line's voice, but we don't see anything. And so the imagination is a beautiful thing to work in this film, but they don't take full advantage of that. They don't fully weaponize it in all its elements. And the film goes out of its way to let us know everything that is going on with Joe, which is another problem. That nuance is not there, but also this film has a lot of wide shots. The original, for example, had 99.9% of their shots mid to close-ups to extreme close-ups. There's one moment in the original where it opens up a little bit and the character is getting water, and that's like in the first act. But throughout the entirety of this film, we have big wide shots that just take the tension away. We don't feel like we're sitting there across from their character, looking at him and witnessing these calls ourselves. So there's a sense of claustrophobia that is lost in translation. What makes a story like this work is simplicity. It's a focus on a single character, on a single person, wherein the world around them is pretty normal and nobody seems to have a problem. When you create a world that is literally on fire and everything for everyone is going wrong, it becomes a little bit monotone, and like what is happening with our lead does not stand out amongst their world. When it comes to Netflix's The Guilty, the biggest problem that encapsulates everything that I've mentioned up until now is its ending. The film feels like it's a coward and doesn't allow our characters to have victories and defeats and learn from their journeys, and I think that comes at a big cost for the film's quality. Gyllenhaal's performance is fantastic, perhaps better than what they wrote for him. I think The Guilty from Netflix is perfectly watchable, but it just loses the simplicity that made the original one, for example, shine so bright. I'm giving The Guilty a C+. Those are my thoughts on The Guilty, coming to Netflix this Friday, September 30th. I want you now to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, whether you like it, dislike it, anything and everything down there in the comments below. And if you enjoy what you saw here, make sure you consider clicking that button, and you will be a part of every conversation about your favorite movies and TV shows. Thank you so much once more for watching. You are the best. I'll be back very soon with more reviews. I hope to see you in those. And so until then, love each other and love the movies.